All right, radio check, folks. We have got the Miami Grand Prix coming up in half an hour. We have got a lot of action to look forward to. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And we will be underway for the Grand Prix shortly. But of course, we've had the sprint qualifying, the sprint race, and qualifying so far in the weekend, and a whole lot of action has happened. I'll do a quick summary of the happenings of the past couple of days, and then let's turn our focus towards the main event, the Grand Prix, of course. Yeah. Okie dokes. The race is probably going to be around about an hour and a half, maximum 2 hours. Maybe if there's a safety car, it'll be a little bit longer, but usually it hovers around about a 1.5 hour mark. And yeah. Okie dokes, folks. We have, of course, got Max Verstappen starting up on pole position. He did that in sprint qualifying. He did that in the actual qualifying. Verstappen, in fact, has been suffering from sort of setup issues. Red Bull unable to pick the most optimal setup at the end of FP1, which led to them, losing out. We're losing out some time and some pace because Verstappen's been complaining about a lot of understeer as he is driving the car and just no grip in general. So, yeah, the setup's a little bit off, and that's the kind of things that happens in sprint races because when you've only got one practice session, 1 hour, you don't have enough time to test whether your setups are correct or not. Yeah. Ixtash, yeah, I do remember you, buddy. Don't spam. Thanks for broadcasting the news races. I went to a garden centre with my wife yesterday, listening to qualifying. A bunch of other husbands gathered around to listen as well. Oh wow, that is great. Yeah, haven't heard of anything like that before. Very much do appreciate the message, Scale Freak Gaming. Max prefers oversteer. Yeah, so Max prefers oversteer, and his car was understeering, which is the exact opposite. So yeah, that's why he was over the radio complaining about it. But nevertheless, he was still on pole, but he was quite a lot closer to Leclerc than we would have expected. So yeah, Leclerc only 1.5 tenths off Max Verstappen. We'll see going into turn one, can he get the lead? Because this is the thing. Yesterday, Leclerc got a great start, and Verstappen had to squeeze him all the way to the wall just to keep the lead going into turn one. So if Leclerc gets a slightly better start, Verstappen gets a slightly worse start, we could see Leclerc leading the race going into turn number one. All right. What is up, Spectre X? By the way, I'm going to do a voice overlay for OBS. I don't know if that's allowed. It plays like the FIA and Team Radio. Yeah, I mean that would be awesome. I'm not sure. It is definitely open data, so it should be fine. But yeah, I think my email is in like if you go onto the about page of my channel, you'll see my email, and then you can email me any of the details. Or of course on Instagram, F1_gamer_5. But yeah. All right. The entire top 10 is within a second of each other. That is a very good point. It is a very, very close field. And, if you take it from third position down to 10th position, that's only 8 tenths. Like, it is extremely close in the top 10. And hopefully that's going to bring us some good racing. Now, of course, Miami has got 3 DRS zones. That being said, it's still pretty difficult to overtake around here. We saw Lewis Hamilton. He was stuck behind Kevin Magnussen for quite a while, in fact, yesterday. So, not ideal. And overtaking definitely is a bit of a challenge, but I'm sure the drivers will be able to overcome it. If Sainz plays a Minister of Defense like K-Mag did, we could see a Ferrari another 2-3. Let's see if the OG Minister of Defense can play us through. Vamos Checo, yeah. Yeah, Sergio Perez, he does have the quicker car down the straights. Now, that definitely will help with the overtaking. And yeah, with the overtaking, it definitely will help. Now, we'll wait and see what happens with Carlos Sainz, because if he can stay within Leclerc's DRS, it will be pretty difficult for Perez to get an overtake done. So there is definitely opportunity for that to happen. And yeah, technically anything is possible. Technically, Logan Sargent could win the race, but you know, I think it's safe to say that probably isn't going to happen. I wouldn't bet on it. That's what that's what I'd say. All right. Be sure to hit the like button, folks. Really will help out the channel. We've got 1,000 people already tuned into the stream. Very much do appreciate all of the support, and we're going to have a great stream from here on out. 25 minutes till we get underway for qualifying. Not qualifying, the race, actually. So just to summarize, we have got a one-stop strategy predicted for today by Pirelli. Even though we have extremely high track temperatures, Pirelli predicted a one-stop. By the looks of it, they have brought one step harder tires this weekend at Miami. So, yeah, that's probably why we are going to have a one stop race. The quickest strategy will be starting the race on the medium tires and then going on to the hard tires. And then the second quickest strategy, start the race on the hards, then switch on to the mediums. Now, there are loads of different there are loads of different ways that this could go. If there's a safety car, maybe the drivers on the hard tires end up performing better. Yeah, Space, does F1 affiliate work with access to? Yes, it does. The affiliate stuff works with a TV access as well. I can say someone's going to crash into the first turn. Well, yeah, there definitely could be a crash. Now, I'm just going to summarize kind of what happened yesterday. Going into turn one at a sprint race, we had Max Verstappen squeezing Charles Leclerc right the way to the inside pit wall. And then after that, behind those two, Sergio Perez locked up so badly. Like he had a pretty big lockup going into turn one. It's quite easy to lock up here, and especially because overtaking is quite difficult at the circuit. The drivers are going all full send into turn one, hoping to get a couple of overtakes done. Then what happens behind them is we have quite a bit of a Quantatina effect, and we have Verstappen, not Verstappen, sorry, Alonso, Stroll, and Lando Norris all going for the same piece of the circuit. And obviously, you can't have three cars right next to each other on the exact same piece of tarmac. So inevitably, there was a collision. Fernando Alonso was looking in his mirrors. He was seeing Lewis Hamilton just coming straight towards him. So that's why Alonso did not turn in. And then he ended up hitting Stroll, Stroll ended up hitting Lando, and both of them ended up DNFing. And Lewis Hamilton came in with some contact as well. All right. Yeah. Oh, okay. What about the king of Formula One racing, Max Verstappen? Well, Max Verstappen, he will be starting from the lead of this race, and hopefully, he doesn't run away with it. That will make it a lot more exciting. Also, of course, still no news from Adrian Newey. Where is he going to go? He could, he's in talks with McLaren and Mercedes and Ferrari and Aston Martin. Those are the four teams that he is in talks with. So he could do that. He could, go to one other team in Formula One, or he could just end up retiring. Now, it's not sure. The one exclusive interview that he did do, he seems sort of tired and not particularly the most passionate person about the sport. Now, of course, he's been working in the sport for probably over 30 years at this point, and yeah, maybe at some point the interest and the passion starts to fade, which isn't great. So maybe he'll take a break and take a sabbatical, retire for a bit, and rediscover his love for Formula One, or he might just jump in for a new challenge. He's currently deciding, and probably surprise us. What do you think's Red Bull lineup for 2025 should be? Well, I'm gonna say if it isn't broke, don't. If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Yeah. So Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, they're working absolutely fine. You know, Sergio Perez may not be in P2 every single race, but I'm going to say, you know, he's doing a good enough job for the Red Bull number two driver, and adapting to that car, you know, the car that's really on the nose, is extremely difficult. And if Sergio Perez has managed to do that, he will, you know, I think he's the best fit for the team in this current scenario. Like Yuki Tsunoda, while he is a very talented driver, if he ends up going to Red Bull, then there's a chance that he just the car doesn't suit him. He can't drive with such excessive oversteer, and then maybe yeah, and then maybe gets dropped from Red Bull. So it's hard to say, but I would say, you know, since Red Bull aren't having any issues, they're not coming under any threat for a title championship or a constructors championship. They might as well just continue as things are going. I don't blame him. If we're being honest, F1 regulations are a long, long way away from the days a team could throw a car on the track with six tires and it would be competitive. Indeed, yes. For any of you folks that don't know, once upon a time in Formula One, there were not any regulations saying you only have to have four tires. The regulations only stipulated you only had to have two rear tires. That's all they said. So you could, if you wanted to, have four front tires. And guess what? A team did exactly that. In the interest of getting as much downforce out of the car as possible and as much low speed grip, they made their front wheels a lot smaller than all of the other cars, and got two sets of front wheels on both sides. Of course, it wasn't the quickest car overall, but it was a completely new concept, completely new idea, and that makes it a lot more fun for the engineers. But it depends on the engineer. You know, if the engineer feels restricted by the rules, like, oh, I can't do anything of what I want, then obviously it's not for them. But if the engineer is thinking like, oh, these rules are here, let's see what I can do and absolutely maximize these rules to the limits, then maybe it suits that engineer more. Who knows? Someone could make a car tricycle version with two at the back and one at the front. Yeah, they probably could, but the problem is, as soon as you turn into a corner, your car's just going to roll over. Yeah, that is the main problem. All right, folks. Hello, it's Smork. Very nice. Since when did you start your interest in Formula One? In 2018 was the first race I watched. Yeah, 2018 Spa. Okie dokes. Let me know what your guys' predictions are for today's race. We'll wait and see what happens. Yeah. There's obviously a chance of a safety car, and yeah. Is your microphone sorted out tonight? Yes, it is. I realized that there was just a screw loose in my microphone, and I tightened the screw, and my mic is absolutely A-okay. Right, prediction someone is going to send it. Indeed they are. I think actually, well, I don't know if it's a fun fact, but there's a fact that I've got for you guys. The last Miami Grand Prix, there was not a single car that DNF'd in the Grand Prix, and I think that's one of 20 Formula One Grand Prix in history where there wasn't a single DNF. Yeah. Yeah, it was a Tyrrell six wheeler. That was the car. Okie dokes. How long away are we now? We are 15 minutes away from the start of the race. I'm going to run through all of the race pace simulation data that we've had over the course of the sprint race, of course, and then the practice sessions as well. According to the race sim data, Red Bull are the quickest team. No surprise there. Ferrari are quarter of a second back per lap compared to Red Bull. Now, I don't think that is exactly true, because if we look at the sprint race yesterday, Verstappen only won the sprint race by about 4 seconds. So it should be a lot closer than what the simulation data is indicating. And then Aston Martin seems to be the third quickest car, even though Aston Martin down in, well, Alonso's down in 15th, Stroll down in 11th. In race conditions, they apparently are that quick. Um, so yeah, it'll be good to see if they can progress up through the field, and let's see what Fernando Alonso can do. He's starting from 15th, a little bit out of place for him, and if he can make his way up through the field, we'll have some confidence. Maybe the Aston Martin wasn't so quick in quali today, well, quali yesterday, but it might be quick in the race. All right. K-Mag just wants a job next year, and if he doesn't have the pace, he'll need to play a different game to get the contract. That is true. So any of you folks who weren't here for the sprint race, Kevin Magnussen put on an absolute show for us. It was so exciting, so thrilling. Basically, what happened was so the scenario was Nico Hulkenberg up in 7th position, Kevin Magnussen in 8th. So this is a sprint race. They are only scoring points up to the top 8. So Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg both in the points. And Lewis Hamilton is coming up to attack Nico Hulkenberg. It's around about halfway through the sprint race, and Kevin Magnussen's got to defend this position, otherwise he loses a point, and potentially Nico Hulkenberg also loses the point because they are, they're quite close together. And if Hamilton can overtake one of them, he can probably overtake the other one as well. So Kevin Magnussen, it was like, right, it is time to defend. And he does a amazing defensive job. I've got to say, it's sensational driving from him. But then he makes a little mistake and misses the chicane. And doesn't gain that much time, if I'm being honest. Hamilton wasn't even trying to overtake him at that chicane. But Kevin Magnussen cut the chicane, and Hamilton was straight over the radio saying he gained an advantage. And then the FIA stewards, what do? They give Kevin Magnussen a 10-second time penalty. Given a 10-second time penalty, there's basically no chance that Kevin Magnussen is going to be able to score points in this in the sprint race. So he's like, right, well, if I'm not going to be able to score points, well, then Hamilton definitely is not going to be able to score points. And what he does for the next following 5 laps is just defend like his life depended on it against Lewis Hamilton. And it was some seriously good driving. And by the time, because he was defending for so long, Yuki Tsunoda, the driver behind him, actually caught up to Hamilton and overtook him as well. So amazing driving from Kevin Magnussen. And he ended up the race with, I think, 20 seconds of penalties. And after he ended up with 20 seconds of penalties, he was asked about in an interview, do you know about the penalties? What are you doing? What do you think about them? And Kevin Magnussen basically said, I didn't really care about the penalties. I was doing my job for the team. So the stewards weren't particularly happy about that situation, and they called him in for a little chat. And I think that's been resolved. I think he's got 2 extra penalty points for saying like, oh, I don't care about the penalties. And yeah, so that's what's happened with Kevin Magnussen yesterday. Now Kevin Magnussen starting the race in 19th position today, had a bad qualifying, and had a bad qualifying, and then hopefully he can gain a couple of positions and put on a good show for us again. Okie dokes, we have 2,000 people tuned in. Thank you very, very much for the support, folks. And we'll be getting underway shortly. We'll have the formation lap as usual, and then we will have the race start. Pretty typical stuff, if I'm being honest. Have you got a water sponsor already? Unfortunately not. Unfortunately, I have not emailed South Downs Water, or any water company for that matter. But I don't think a water company is going to sponsor me, to be honest. I've already got an F1 TV sponsor, and as an F1 YouTube channel, I would probably say that's as good as it's going to get. All right. Underway. And also just a quick update on how long it takes the drivers to go through the pit lane. It takes 17 seconds under green flag conditions and 9 seconds under safety car conditions. In the past, we've raced here in 2022 and 2023. And in 2023, we had, oh, I don't know which year it was, but we have had safety cars, virtual safety cars, and and not a red flag at Miami. Um, but yeah, definitely chance for some sort of action. Who do you think will win the battle of P2? I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc. I'm feeling optimistic today. The Ferraris were quick, and the race simulation data didn't indicate much. Um, wasn't particularly accurate, and the Ferraris could keep up with Max Verstappen yesterday. So I'm going to say that Charles Leclerc can hold on to that second position, and maybe Carlos Sainz can defend against Sergio Perez, and it would be a Ferrari 2-3. That would be simply sensational. All right. Dylan Smellman, very much appreciated. Thank you for the stream. So thank you very much, Dylan. Yeah. All right. Daniel Ricciardo going 20th position to P1. That would be absolutely, well, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? But we'll have to wait and see. It's lights out in 9 minutes or ceremonies. It is well, we'll have the green light for the formation lap, and then after the formation lap, a we'll have the race. Yeah. Okie dokes. A couple of other things to watch out for today's Grand Prix. Um, oh wait, one sec. Let me just confirm if Daniel Ricciardo has got a three-place grid penalty, or will he be starting in? Oh no, Daniel Ricciardo has been given a three-place grid penalty for overtaking under safety car conditions at the Chinese Grand Prix. So yeah, Ricciardo starting in 20th position, and everyone else is starting in the place where they were yesterday. I am going to refresh the data. So the screen will go blank for about 1 minute, and then it will be back. So just hang in there while the data gets itself refreshed. Actually, I could probably do it so it only goes blank for about 10 seconds. Okie dokes. Oh, the software is called Multiviewer. All right. Yeah, this is legal. All the data is available all the data is available freely available for the public. It's just you have to code to get it. So, yeah. All right, and once again, just to let you guys know, 57 laps of racing we'll have around this circuit. We had 19 for the sprint race, the full race 3 times longer, and we will have 57 laps of racing. The risk of rain is 0%. It is quite sunny in Miami, so we will have a pretty small risk of rain. Well, in fact, a 0% risk of rain, and yeah. Okie dokes. Danny's days in F1s are numbered. He will not be on the grid in 2025. And that is there's definitely potential for that to happen. With Red Bull, the Red Bull Academy having so many drivers and so many different people that they want to give opportunities to, it would be great, for them to yeah, it'd be great for them to have a slot open where one of their young drivers can drive the AlphaTauri. But yeah, Yuki Tsunoda doing a good job, but he's had quite a few years. He's had quite a few years here at AlphaTauri / Visa Cash App Red Bull Racing or Racing Bulls or whatever. So yeah, who knows? Who knows what will happen? Maybe Yuki Tsunoda will go to Aston Martin, as Aston Martin going to have Honda engines in 2025 and onwards. Oh no, 2026 and onwards. Yeah. All right. Oh, will you be streaming the entire race? Yes, I will. 5 minutes now till we get underway for the start of the formation lap. Are we not going to talk about how Danny Rick went from getting P4 to P20? In fact, that we are. I just totally forgot about that. So yeah, in the sprint quali, Daniel Ricciardo was in 4th position, And in today's sprint, well, in yesterday's quali, he ended up in 17th position, a really bad lap. Well, yeah, a really bad situation. I mean, sometimes up in fourth position, sometimes in 17th. It's really unpredictable there with Daniel Ricciardo. He did say in sprint qualifying he had like an absolutely amazing lap. So yeah, maybe he's just pulled off some ridiculous lap and then he can't recreate it. But that's still nevertheless not a great sign, to be honest. Um, yeah. With, like you can pull off a really good lap, but then your next lap should be somewhere similar, not from P14, not from P4 all the way down to P17. Like that's a far too big of a gap there. Honda made a statement that they can't put Yuki and Aston Martin and hope that Red Bull keep working with them. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Honda can't explicitly, like, they don't have a contract saying, oh, yes, we get to pick one of your drivers. But I'm sure Honda could do some sort of pressuring and they could, they could do some internal politics and maybe get Yuki Tsunoda into the Aston Martin team. That would be, yeah. Okie dokes. So we have got a 5.4 kilometer long circuit and yeah, 17, no, not sorry, not 17, 19 corners to go through. And yeah, I totally forgot what I was going to say. Oh yeah, space. The multi-viewer thing needs a subscription, but the you can access the data from another place and get it for free. It's just that I haven't coded it out yet. Yeah. Any news on Lawson getting a shot at Ricardo's seat? No news, unfortunately. Lawson hasn't even been testing any, or he hasn't been any of the practice sessions testing and preparing. Oh, we have just got the tire information data. Here we go. Everyone in the top 7 starting on medium tires. Lewis Hamilton starting on the hards. Okay, so everyone basically is starting on the medium tires apart from Valtteri Bottas, who's starting on the softs, Alonso starting on the hards, Hamilton on the hards, and then we have Kevin Magnussen and Daniel Ricciardo on the hards as well. Yeah, interesting choice of strategies. Okie dokes. So now we're 2 minutes away from the start of the race. I'm going to run through all of the drivers on the grid, and we'll take it from there. Cheers, folks. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If we could hit 500 likes or 750, I think that's what the target is. That would be fantastic. Yeah. All right. So going from the bottom of the grid, we have Daniel Ricciardo in 20th position. He had he originally was in 17th place. He ended up with a 3-place grid penalty back in China for overtaking under the safety car. Then we had Guan Yu Zhou in 19th position, coming off the back of his home race, not getting out qualified by his teammate. We have Kevin Magnussen in 18th position, giving us an absolutely spectacular sprint race to watch. Unfortunately, a little bit further back in the main race, but we'll wait and see what his progress will be. Logan Sargent, it's his home Grand Prix. He was in fact born very close to Miami and grown up here as well. So it is great to see him doing well. And, we'll wait and see what he can do. Can he match Alex Albon at his home Grand Prix? He's been going pretty well, and in fact better than he usually does at most weekends around. So Logan Sargent starting in 17th place at his home race. Valtteri Bottas, the only driver to start the race on the soft tyres. We'll wait and see if that works out for him. If there is an early safety car, he is going to benefit severely from it. Then we have Fernando Alonso, who had a little bit of a bad qualifying and kind of had a bad weekend all around, really. Aston Martin looking for answers to their lack of pace and not finding any. Alex Albon up in 14th position. He's had a great weekend so far, and maybe he could go up and score some points depending on if there are a couple DNFs up ahead. Then we have got the 2 Alpines in 12th and 13th position. If you remember back maybe 4 or 5 races ago, the Alpines were absolutely in the bin. They just were nowhere to be seen in terms of pace, and now here they are up in 12th and 13th position. They've brought a couple of upgrades. The upgrades have worked out well, and they are doing a fantastic job. So good on the Alpine team. They brought some major floor upgrades and they're working. So 12th and 13th position for the two Alpines. We've got Lance Stroll out qualifying Fernando Alonso for a first time in quite a while. Then we have Yuki Tsunoda, Nico Hulkenberg in 9th and 10th position in the bottom of the top 10. Both of them had a pretty good qualifying, doing better than expected. Then we've got the two Hamiltons, the two Mercedes in 7th and 8th position. And yeah, they've been slower than the McLarens all weekend around. Now let's just wait and see if they can, maybe pull something out of the bag, maybe a surprise strategy, and get ahead of them. McLarens both have upgrades. Lando Norris has got a full upgrade package. Oscar Piastri has got half an upgrade package, and that's a situation down at McLaren. So Oscar Piastri's car is 2/10 slower per lap compared to Lando Norris. So if you are an Oscar Piastri fan, don't worry, his pace hasn't completely dropped off. And then we have Sergio Perez up in 4th position, Carlos Sainz in 3rd position. Oh, my mic's having a bit of an odd. Yeah, there we go. Sergio Perez in 4th position, Carlos Sainz in 3rd position, Charles Leclerc in 2nd, only a tenth and a half away from Max Verstappen in pole. And Max Verstappen on his second pole of the weekend. We are underway for the formation lap. I'm just going to get rid of this thing on the screen. There we go. Everyone making their way around the circuit, getting the tires, the brakes, and the engines into the correct settings, the correct modes, and getting ready for the race start now. All right, so we have got a great Grand Prix ahead of us. We've got 7,000 people tuned into the stream. Very much do appreciate all of the support, folks. If you could hit 750 likes, that would be fantastic as we get underway for the Grand Prix. Now, Verstappen coming out of the penultimate corner, and he's going to make his way to the front spot of the grid. Just a quick recap of what happened at yesterday's race start. Max Verstappen got an all right start. Charles Leclerc got a sensational start, and Verstappen had to squeeze Leclerc all the way into the wall for him to keep the lead going into turn number 1. And yeah, that's what I'm going to say. So if Leclerc gets a good start, there is potential for him to get into the lead into turn number 1. There is a very good chance of that happening. All right, here they come then. We are getting ready for the start. The weekend attendance totally sold out. Miami Grand Prix, 275,000 fans have come to the circuit and watched the practice, the sprint, and the qualifyings. In the qualifying sessions, we have track temperature up at 45 degrees, a little bit cooler than we had in the sprint race, but regardless, it is extremely hot for you. Well, it's extremely hot compared to what we usually have in Formula One. Okie dokes. Yeah, that is it. The last couple of drivers are approaching the grid. Max Verstappen has already positioned his car in a manner so he can squeeze Charles Leclerc. He's tilted his car a little bit. So as soon as he starts accelerating, he's going to start blocking Leclerc. I mean, really good. Very good forward thinking there from Max Verstappen. We've got all of the drivers now lined up on the grid. It is lights out and away we go. Max Verstappen gets an excellent start. Leclerc down 2 places already. He had an absolutely terrible start. Had an absolutely terrible start there. But he's back up now and done some seriously good defending to get through there. And Russell losing 3 places, Gasly down 4 places, and a whole bunch of action going on there. Wow, okay. But as we go through the first sector, Verstappen already 1 second ahead. Verstappen's 1 second ahead, and we've only done 1 sector. I mean, okay. It's like we're just trying to get him to win the race. Yeah. All right. As now we go towards turn number 11, we've got Piastri up in 3rd position, 3 places up. He started in 6th. He's all the way up into 3rd. Absolutely great from him. Fernando Alonso started 15th. He's up 3 positions, and it is great. A great job from those folks getting so many positions gained on the race start. Here we go then. Going down the back straight, DRS will be activated on this lap. And And we're going to get an awfully big DRS change if it continues like this. We're going to have all the way from Lando Norris in 6th position down to Daniel Ricciardo in 20th, all in one big DRS train. Esteban Ocon gets that overtake done on Alex Albon very nicely. A sensational move, to be honest, in quite a tough overtaking spot. Yeah. All right. Okay, so we got 10,000 people tuning in. Thank you very, very much for all the support. We're about to hit 1,000 likes, in fact. Yeah. But Verstappen, look at this, 1.4 seconds in the lead of this race. I mean, this is just absolute domination from Max Verstappen. No looking back whatsoever. Just saying thank you very much, and I'll see you. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next weekend. That's what Max Verstappen's just said, basically. All right. Here we go then. DRS has been enabled and the DRS train shall begin. They come out of the turn number 16 and here they go. Piastri with DRS on Leclerc, Sainz with DRS on Piastri, and then all the way from 13th place all the way to 20th position, we've got a nice big DRS train. The straight line speed from the Haas is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, it is quite quick. I think they've just opted for a low drag setup here, and that's why Kevin Magnussen was able to defend so well yesterday. And what a move! Kevin Magnussen trying to overtake Valtteri Bottas there, ending up losing out, loses the position. But some seriously good driving from all of them. But at the back of the pack, and look at this. Oscar Piastri with the fastest lap of the race as he tries to chase down Charles Leclerc. This could be a very good battle up here for second position. Oscar Piastri, mind you, I would like to point this out again. Oscar Piastri has the slower car compared to Lando Norris. He has less upgrades, but yet he's up there in third place, and Lando Norris is in 6th position. All right. Piastri is cooking. He is cooking extremely hard. And with Leclerc, Leclerc hasn't got DRS on anyone ahead of him. He's got no slipstream from Max Verstappen. So Piastri, unfortunately, though, he is in a bit of a Ferrari sandwich. He's got Charles Leclerc ahead of him, Carlos Sainz behind him. So he's got to be paying attention to the drivers ahead of him and the drivers behind him. Otherwise, he could end up losing positions while trying to gain a position. All right. Yeah. Lap number 3 of 57, Verstappen 1.5 seconds in the lead. Oscar Piastri is gaining with the DRS as he makes his way down the back straight. He's getting closer and closer, and yeah, maybe in 1 or 2 laps time he will get he'll get past Charles Leclerc. We'll have to wait and see, but they're getting pretty close and we'll have a squabble soon enough. Okie dokes, and this is interesting. Sergio Perez here, unable to catch up to the back of Carlos Sainz. The gap quite big there, and Perez had quite a bad race start, went a little bit deep, and ended up losing positions to the Ferraris. He was going to get ahead of them, but went far too deep, lost the positions again, and has been unable to catch up to the back of Sainz. Okay. Let's see what else is going on. Danny Rick, unfortunately, still in 20th position. Of course, Danny Rick is on the hard tyres, so you'd expect him to not be as quick as normal. But yeah, not ideal to say the least. And the same for Kevin Magnussen. He's on the hard tyres. They're significantly slower than the medium tyre runners, and that is why they are losing out so significantly. Okay, then here they come out of turn number 16. Piastri is closer than he has ever been. He's got the DRS now as they come down the straight. He's got the slipstream as well. He is gaining on Charles Leclerc. And here they are approaching turn number 17 now. Look, Piastri looks to the inside. Charles Leclerc defending here. And Piastri doesn't get the overtake done. Oh, in fact, he does. What a brilliant exit he gets out of there. Charles Leclerc a little bit slow on the exit, and Piastri is up into second place. Absolutely brilliant job there. But now he's got 2 Ferraris behind him, and they're going to be working together to try and get... Ooh, to try and get past him. Great overtake from Piastri. All right. Yeah, now this is gonna be the thing. Is Leclerc gonna re-overtake Piastri, or is he just gonna sit behind him? That's the question. Yeah. All right. Why are Russell's tires older than everyone else's? Russell started on a used set of tires. That's why his tires are 7 laps old, and everyone else's tires are 4 laps old. Yeah, because Russell just started on tires that were older. He had already driven 3 laps on them in, um, in the qualifying session. All right. Charles Leclerc, though, a little bit too far back on this occasion as they come down through the back straight and not able to get an overtake done. Maybe the two Ferraris will switch around. I'm sure Sainz will be over the radio saying, I'm quicker than this guy, let me switch around positions. But, Carlos Sainz is not driving for Ferrari next year. Are they going to... Are they going to prioritize the driver that isn't driving for them next year? Are they going to prioritize their number one driver? Are they going to prioritize the quicker driver who will wait? Or we'll just have to wait and see. Oh yeah, I should probably change the like thing. Let's see. There we go. And I should probably increase the like target as well. Thank you very much, everyone, for hitting the like button. It really does help out the channel. Hopefully, you are enjoying the coverage. All right. Maybe Piastri will go for an undercut. Yeah, I mean, he's setting fastest lap of the race. Now, the question is, can he continue going quicker than Charles Leclerc, or will Leclerc catch up to him? There's no sort of chance to catch up to Verstappen. Even on the previous lap, he was 5/10 of a second slower than Verstappen. So there's not much chance of actually overtaking Verstappen. Oh, Perez has been noted for having a false start. It looks like he jump-started the race. I'm not exactly sure what went on there with Sergio Perez, but he may have jump-started. He might get a penalty. Yeah. Oh. Okie dokes. Yeah, Carlos Sainz there, applying quite a bit of pressure of Charles Leclerc. We're going to get some radio coming over soon. The two Alpines, in fact, coming into contact with each other. We know I've just got a replay of what's been going on the opening lap. The two Alpines came into contact with each other. Now, Pierre Gasly, Esteban Ocon don't have the best relationship, and they ended up colliding a little bit. No damage, but colliding with your teammates is not the best look for the Alpine team. Fernando Alonso on the opening lap had a massive lockup, which isn't great. And yes, Sainz, as expected, has come over the radio saying, I think I have the pace here. So we're going to have maybe team orders down at Ferrari. Maybe Carlos Sainz is going to switch around with Charles Leclerc. We'll have to wait and see. Lewis Hamilton gets past Nico Hulkenberg. He was stuck behind Haas for quite a while yesterday. This time he's not going to do the same thing and gets that overtake done on Nico Hulkenberg. And let's see what Hulkenberg can do. Can he fend off George Russell, or will he be able to stay on the back of Lewis Hamilton? Or maybe he'll do both. Yeah. But Oscar Piastri, sensational job. 6th position, all the way up to 4th position. All the way up to 2nd position, sorry. Up 4 places. And with a Ferrari squabbling, oh my God, Kevin Magnussen re-overtaking Lewis Hamilton. Great move. They're side by side coming down the straight here. And Nico Hulkenberg, doing a great job. Hamilton, unfortunately, has the DRS, so he's managed to just get past him. But Hulkenberg holding on. Oh my God, this is some great driving from Nico Hulkenberg. Oh my God, what's my mic doing? Yeah, some great driving there from Nico Hulkenberg. Hamilton unable to, well, Hamilton's already over the radio saying nearly just had a big crash there. Um, yeah, we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see what the FIA do. Maybe we'll get a 10-second penalty for Nico Hulkenberg. But I don't think I don't think that we deserve. I don't think he deserves that. He's been putting on a good show. There's not been much going on. We've had the one overtake up at the front with Oscar Piastri. So if Nico Hulkenberg can give us a show, I would gladly take it. Here we go then. Here we go then. Coming down the back straight, Lewis Hamilton 0.6 of a second behind Nico Hulkenberg. The Hasses are pretty quick in a straight line. The Mercedes not so much, but Hamilton does have the advantage of DRS. Here they come then towards turn number 17. Hamilton a little bit too far back. Maybe he's playing to get a good exit out of 17 and make the overtake into turn number 1. Yeah, Hamilton went a little bit deep in turn 17 on the final lap. Not the final lap, sorry, the previous lap, and that is why Hulkenberg managed to get past. Yeah. All right, we've got 10,000 people tuning in. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Very much do appreciate the support. Yeah, brilliant. 10,000 people. I mean, that is a ridiculous number if you think about it. Oh, actually, it's 11,000. Wow. Okie dokes, folks. Okie dokes, folks. Oh, that rhymes. Yeah. So Ferrari still haven't switched around their drivers. Leclerc closer than he previously was, but yeah, still behind Oscar Piastri and unable to get ahead. And Piastri still doing a solid job. His lap times are very consistent, and in fact, a tenth quicker than Charles Leclerc on the previous occasion. So he's holding that a slim margin over the Ferraris, and the McLaren race pace didn't look like it was that quick yesterday in the sprint. So yeah, Piastri pulling it out of the bag, up 4 positions off the race start. I would definitely say he's a good candidate for driver of the day, and we're only 9 laps into the race. And we had a K-Mag train, now we have the Hulkenberg train. Yes, we do. Look at that. Kevin Hulkenberg, Nico Hulkenberg. Then we have Lewis Hamilton, then George Russell, then Tsunoda, then Stroll, then Gasly, then Alonso as well. That train is getting quite long. And Nico Hulkenberg still holding off the threat of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton still stuck behind a Haas. How the tables have turned. 3 years ago, it was Hamilton stuck behind a Red Bull battling for first place. Now it is... 3 years later, it is Hamilton stuck behind a Haas battling for 7th position. It is yeah, how the times have changed. Why is Bottas on the soft compounds? I think Sauber were sort of gambling on the fact that there might be an early safety car, and then if he was on the soft tires, that would be a good strategy. But clearly there wasn't an early safety car, and then Bottas will be coming into the pitch soon enough. Yeah, actually, he could probably go 20 laps on a set of softs because that's what they did in the sprint race yesterday. So, yeah, he'll end up using his tires and coming into the pits quickly enough. All right. The Ferrari's now dropped further back off the Piastri, and Piastri now is getting dangerously close to breaking this DRS off Charles Leclerc. If they don't switch around these positions quickly, then we could see Oscar Piastri get that second place. Hamilton does get past Nico Hulkenberg. Now, on this occasion, will Hulkenberg be able to fight back? It does not look like it. Yeah. A nice move there from Lewis Hamilton. Now we'll wait and see what he can do and if Hulkenberg can fight back. But I have a feeling that he's going to do a lot. He's going to have to do a lot of defending. Oh, Remy, you can just hide. You can just hide the entire person. You don't have to delete their messages individually. Yeah. Thank you for being a mod. Very much do appreciate it, buddy. All right. Yeah, Piastri almost broke the DRS. Look at that gap, 9.5 tenths. I mean, half a tenth more, and Piastri's broke the DRS, which would be amazing, really. All right, we've got nearly 11,000 people tuned into the stream. Very much do appreciate it. Wow, 11,000, very, very high. Someone said, I think Hulkenberg's just come over the radio saying some awareness while racing would be good. I'm not sure if that was his engineer saying it to Hulkenberg. I didn't think his engineer would be saying it to Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg's probably saying it about Hamilton. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Hulkenberg not happy with the way that Hamilton overtook him. And now Russell darts to the inside, and Russell a little bit too late there and too early on the brakes, to be honest, to get that move done. And he stays behind Nico Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg still holding that train up, and in fact, he's in Lewis Hamilton's DRS as well. Hamilton, though, of course, he is on the hard tyres, so he's on a completely different strategy to everyone else in the top 12. And Stroll, the first driver to come into the pits. Yeah. All right. Oh yeah, and Alex Albon. Alex Albon actually was the first driver to come into pits, not Lance Stroll. All right, I'm going to have a quick sip of water, folks, but I will be back in just a sec. You guys should also remember to stay hydrated. We're on lap number 12 of 57. Max Verstappen in the lead of this race. Oscar Piastri was close to breaking DRS, but he is firmly in Charles Leclerc is firmly in the DRS and potentially could get an overtake done in a few laps' time. But yeah. All right. So George Russell once again looking to the inside here. Oh, sorry. Yeah, George Russell managed to get that overtake done on Nico Hulkenberg nicely enough. It wasn't too complicated as he went through turn number 11. So now it's been 2 laps now, and Hulkenberg has been overtaken by 2 Mercedes. And in fact, there we go. Nico Hulkenberg overtaken by Yuki Tsunoda as well. And Hulkenberg's just gone into the pit, so that's why he's been overtaken. Yeah. Aston Martin having a honker. Yeah. I mean, Stroll's just come into the pits, but Alonso hasn't done that much better. All right. Yeah, the pit stops are coming quite early. I wouldn't have expected the drivers pitting on lap number 13, when we still have 45 laps remaining. There is definitely chance that these guys are pitting a little bit too early, and they're going to suffer towards the end of their stint. Yeah. Lando is within DRS of Sergio Perez. I had not noticed that. So he's been slowly creeping up on the back of Perez, and Perez unable to catch the Ferraris. So now now he's under pressure from Lando Norris. Okie dokes. Leclerc still with DRS, managing to hold on to the back there, and Sainz looking to drop off. Yeah, look at that. Sainz has fell out of the DRS of Charles Leclerc, and he's unable to stay on the back of him. So Sainz was behind Leclerc and Piastri, both of them probably getting a little bit of warm air all over his tires. Not the best situation, and a little bit of a lockup as well there for Sainz. Looks like he's struggling with his tires. Yeah. All right, Alex Albon gets past Lance Stroll, and then they have a nice little squabble. But Stroll comes out on top, actually. Albon's going to come over the radio saying Stroll pushed him wide. But yeah, I mean, Ricciardo's up 6 positions, guys, but there are 6 drivers that have pitted. So that's why, that's why Ricciardo's up 6 places. It's because 6 drivers have pitted. All right. Yeah. No further investigation for Perez. That is true. Yeah. So if you guys remember at the start of the race, I said Sergio Perez had a false start. There is no further investigation going on there. Lando Norris looking to overtake Sergio Perez as they go through towards turn number 12. He is right on the back of him. He's going to have some slipstream and DRS as they come through the penultimate corner. Can Lando Norris get an overtake done into turn number 1? He's going to have DRS. He's going to have the slipstream. And on this occasion, he's gaining. Looks to the inside, but a little bit too far back to get that move done at turn number 1. And he's going to be now slowly but surely trying to catch up to the back of Perez for the next overtaking opportunity. All right, Charles Leclerc coming into the pits here. Well, he's been told to come into the pits. We'll see if he does. But it looks like they'll be trying to do the undercut here. He's only 7/10 behind Oscar Piastri, so Piastri has got to get a move on, and he does exactly that. Look at that, a purple first sector from Oscar Piastri. A brilliant job indeed. All right. Yeah, so Piastri has been told that now Leclerc is going to come into the pit. So he's like, right, time to step on the gas and pick up the pace, really. The more important question is, what audiobook is Max listening to right now? It's pretty boring and lonely in his position. Yeah, he has 3 leads in the second, 3 seconds in the lead of this race. And not much action for him, really. He's just driving around. A typical Sunday for Max Verstappen, just driving a Formula One car at breakneck speeds. Yeah, a fastest lap of the race from him as well. Just checking in with Max Verstappen. Fastest lap of the race for him, then a fastest lap of the race for Piastri, and then a fastest lap of the race for Charles Leclerc. And Charles Leclerc right on the back of Piastri now. He is so close. And he could get an overtake done here as well. Lando Norris once again looking to the inside of Sergio Perez, but not able to get that move done in time. Okie dokes. Cheers, Remy, for deleting all those messages. Thank you very much. Oh, yeah, because I can't keep up with all of the chat messages. And I have to be paying attention to my OBS as well. Also, guys, we're getting pretty close to 1,500 likes. So if you could hit the like button, that'd be fantastic. All right. What was I going to say? Yeah, Piastri, oh no, not Piastri, sorry, Lando Norris is so close to the back of Perez on this occasion, and he darts to the inside, in fact, trying to get Perez to make a mistake, looking in his mirrors, maybe lock the brakes into turn number 11, but Perez makes no mistake like that, and is progressing quite nicely through this race. Oh, just another another Miami spammer. Right. NASCAR also has more retirements than the whole F1 season. That is a good point. Yeah. It is crazy how few retirements we have this year in Formula One. And I'd just like to point out, last year in Miami was, I think, one of like 20 Formula One races that haven't had a DNF. Yeah, so quite an interesting stat, I guess. Most of those DNFs, most of those races without DNFs have come in the turbo hybrid era as the engines have got more and more reliable. So yeah, it's a sign of the it's a sign of the recent times, really. Okay. But Leclerc was told to come into the pits. He hasn't come into the pits. It seems like there's been a bit of a change of plan. Leclerc was like, "No, I've got more pace in my tires. Don't you worry." And then he's pulled out a fastest lap of the race, and he's staying on the back of Piastri. Yeah, and to be fair, the longer they extend out this stint, the easier job they're going to have going into their second stint, because the second stint is going to be a long stint. Yeah, Orphan 909. Max Verstappen listening to a Lion King audiobook. Who knows? All right. The bots hold no power when you're locked in. Very nice. Yeah. All right. We've got someone coming into the pits. It is Sergio Perez who's come into the pits. Alonso's on hard tires because Aston Martin are trying to do a little bit of an alternate strategy. So at the end of the race, when everyone is struggling on their tires, Fernando Alonso is going to be there on the mediums, trying to get a lot of overtakes on. That is the plan from Aston Martin's side. And that's why they have gone up onto the. That's why they've gone up on or started the race on the hards. Oh my God, Sergio Perez, a 1.9-second pit stop, extremely quick there as he comes out of the pit lane, just ahead of Fernando Alonso. And now we'll wait and see what Lando Norris can do. Is he going to do an overcut? Is he going to do? Is he going to come in this following lap? Who will? We'll have to wait and see. All right. Science has definitely dropped off the back of Charles Leclerc now, not able to hold the pace. And Leclerc still holding on to the back of Piastri now. We'll just have to wait and see which driver is going to come into the pits first. Do they still have more life left in their tyres? That is the... Because if Leclerc has life left in his tyres, Oscar Piastri might have a bit of a bad outlap and then he'll lose the position to Leclerc, which will be pretty tough to overtake. So... yeah, we'll have to wait and see. All right. Okie dokes. Let's see what else is going on. Sergio Perez, after he comes out of the pits on a set of hard tyres, that is a fastest third sector from him. Lando Norris with a fastest first sector. He's looking to overcut Sergio Perez now. We'll just have to wait and see. The McLaren crew will have to pull off a very quick pit stop if that's gonna happen. They're gonna have to. With Perez getting a 1.9-second pit stop, they're going to have to get a very quick pit stop if they want Lando Norris to come out ahead. Let's keep an eye on Lando Norris' middle sector as he comes through the middle sector marker line. What is it going to be? It's going to be a green middle sector for him. And it seems like he'll be darting into the pits on this occasion. Okay. I'm new to Formula One. Can you tell me about the strategy for the hard, soft, and medium tyres? Well, for today's race, it's the strategy is start the race on the mediums and then go on to the hard tyres, or start the race on the hard tyres, go on to the medium tyres. That's the pretty typical strategy, really. Lando Norris not coming into the pits. He sets the fastest lap of the race, and it seems like he's still got some tyre life left. So Charles Leclerc darts into the pits. Oscar Piastri is going to be going absolutely full send now. He's really going to have to push if he wants to keep this second place. Otherwise, Charles Leclerc will undercut him, and that will... really ruin Oscar Piastri's race and his chance at a podium or a second position even. All right, so Charles Leclerc is out of the pits and we've got now Oscar Piastri. He's pushing pretty hard. It's a green first sector for him. Carlos Sainz with a purple first sector. Sainz is trying to overcut his own teammate. That is absolutely crazy. 1.9 seconds second pit stop for Charles Leclerc as well. The Ferrari pit crew doing a very quick pit stop as well, matching Red Bull's pit stop time for Sergio Perez. Yeah, wow, okay. So this pit stop strategy is really going to change up the order here at the top. Let's wait and see what happens. And it's a yellow middle sector for Oscar Piastri, not the greatest middle sector. Is he going to come into the pits on this occasion? I think the right strategy call would be yes, to come into the pits. But Oscar Piastri continues onwards. No pit stop for Piastri. What does Lando Norris do? He also does not come into the pits. Both McLarens are potentially getting, Lando Norris is potentially getting undercut by Sergio Perez, and we have Charles Leclerc potentially undercutting Oscar Piastri, and both McLarens staying out. Very interesting choice there. Maybe they'll end up losing position. Maybe McLaren know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. All right. We're on lap number 21 of 57. We're reaching the heart. Well, we've already reached past the 1/3 point of the race, and we could end up getting. We're getting pretty close to the halfway point as well. We've got 11,000 people tuned in. Thank you very, very much for all of the support. And thank you, everyone, for hitting the like button. If we could hit 2,000 likes, that would be brilliant. And yeah, we're actually getting pretty close to 69,000 subscribers as well, which is extremely nice to say the least. So yeah, if you're not subscribed, then that would be a very valiant thing to do to contribute towards our target of 69,000 subscribers. Okie dokes. Yeah, let's keep this going then. So Lando Norris, another fastest lap of the race there for Lando Norris. He's having a brilliant lap once again. And he's somehow pulling pace out of these medium tyres that are 21 laps old. You've got to keep in mind, these drivers did do 19 laps on a set of medium tyres yesterday in the sprint, but the car only had 1/3 of the fuel. This is an extra maybe 60, 70 kilos of fuel in the car for today's race, and that should give extra tyre wear. But Lando Norris pulling out fastest laps of the race. Charles Leclerc comes across the line, fastest lap of the race. Yeah, wow. Max Verstappen made a little bit of a mistake there. It looks like he lost a bit of his concentration while in the lead of this race, and ended up hitting the bollard that was on the chicane. He's been the track is clear. The bollard has been cleared off the circuit, but Max Verstappen, hitting the bollard, which is quite the surprise. All right. Yeah, the bollard's now in the middle of the circuit. Now we'll wait and see what happens as the drivers drive over it. It seems to be just off the racing line, very marginally. Interesting indeed. Okie dokie, guys. Love you commenting. Thank you very, very much. A mistake from Max. The gap might only be, the gap. Well, to be fair, the gap only 3.5 seconds to Oscar Piastri. Piastri is doing a brilliant job to keep him within distance. Ooh, virtual safety car has been deployed. So anyone coming into the pits now is going to gain an absolutely massive bucket load of time. So who's going to dive into the pits? Alonso into the pits, Ocon into the pits, Zhou into the pits. Zhou doesn't come into the bits. Interesting. Very short virtual safety car. Oh, my internet's not having the greatest of times. There we go. My internet has fixed. Yeah, 3 drivers into the pits. We still have the virtual safety car. All right. Yeah, so virtual safety car has been cancelled. Well, not cancelled. It's been undeployed. DRS has been re-enabled, and we've got a couple of drivers that have made their pit stop under the safety car. Now, Fernando Alonso, he has switched onto a set of medium tyres, which are definitely not going to get him to the end of this race. 35 laps on a set of mediums, I would say absolutely no chance. So I think Alonso is going to be hoping for another safety car or something. Otherwise, it is going to be quite the tough race for him. All right. Yeah. It looks like Verstappen's going to be coming into the pits. There we go. Well, actually, in fact, coming out of the pits. Yeah, there we go. All right. Um, Ferrari testing my patience. Well, I mean, science is doing a good job, and so is Leclerc, to be fair. So they're not exactly doing a bad job, but yeah, obviously not up in first position where you would ideally want them to be. Okie dokie. But look at that. Fernando Alonso, a purple third sector. That is sensationally quick from the Spaniard. All right. We get a McLaren 2-3. Ooh, that is a tall order because Piastri would. Oh, well, Piastri would firstly going to have to hold that second place. Um, and secondly, Lando Norris is going to have to overtake both Ferraris and then get up into third place, which is going to be extremely difficult. But we'll wait and see what happens. Fastest lap of the race, actually, from Lando Norris, a 1:31.9, and that's on 24 lap old medium tyres. He is catching up to Carlos Sainz at a rate of knots on the previous lap, 7/10 of a second quicker. And yeah, Lando Norris catching up super quick now. We're getting pretty close to 2,000 likes. So if you guys could hit the like button, that would be fantastic. We've got 12,000 people tuned into live stream. Very much do appreciate the support, folks. Yeah, Lance says he's got a problem. Interesting. Right, well, we'll see what happens with Lance Stroll, but the Aston Martins have had a bit of a bad weekend and they're already out of the points, so I'm sure it's not too big of a deal for him. Yeah, it's not going to be a grand slam for Max. He's not going to lead every single lap, unfortunately. So, yeah. The average pit stop is 17 seconds, is the amount of time the drivers lose. Well, yeah, 17 seconds in the pit lane, and then plus, 1.9 seconds for their pit stop or whatever. So you can probably round that up to 20 seconds. I don't know about Stroll's problem, but Aston Martin has a problem, and that problem has already been mentioned in this sentence. That is extremely savage. And if you guys didn't get it, the problem is Lance Stroll. Yeah. Okay. We have still, I mean, these guys in the top three, they are still going strong on those medium tires. I don't know, they must have done some serious tire conservation because how they can go so long on a set of mediums is unfathomable, really. Yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I will not tolerate any slander towards my goat, Sir Lancelot Stroll. Very, very true. Max is in fourth position because he came into the pits. The top three still have not come into the pits as of yet. Yeah, we're approaching now the halfway point of this Grand Prix. Yeah, not too much action as of now. In fact, looking at the screen, you can see basically everyone is quite spread out, and yeah, quite spread out they are. So, it's just how it's going. What does overcut and undercut mean? Okay, that is a good question, Sophie. Essentially, an undercut means you will pit before the driver ahead of you. The driver you're trying to overtake, you're going to pit before them. And when you pit before them, you're going to come out on a fresh set of tires, whereas the driver ahead of you, they're going to be on an old set of tires, which means that because you're on a fresh set of tires, you can go quicker than them. And when they eventually come and do their pit stop, you'll end up quicker than them and ahead of them. So that's what an undercut is. And an overcut is essentially the same thing, but the way that it works is you actually overtake them on older tires. And that's sort of because you've been preserving your tires for so long that your tires still have tire life and you can still push on them and extract pace. So that's kind of what we're seeing there with Lando Norris. He's doing an overcut. He preserved his tires in the first part of the race, and now we're reaching the midpoint, and he's starting to attack and use up all of his tire life, and he'll be coming into the pits shortly. Yeah. back in the day it was an overcut because of lighter fuel versus fresh tires. Yeah, that is. Oh, actually, yeah, that is very true. Um, the overcut, well, when refueling was still a thing, of course, when you did an overcut, you had older tires, but you had less fuel. Whereas a driver doing an undercut would have fresh tires but more fuel. But now it's kind of even out with the fact that everyone, of course, is pretty much at the same fuel level at all times. Oh, look at this. Top two coming into the pits. Piastri and Sainz both come into the pits. Lando Norris is leading the race. Um, yeah, let's see if both of these drivers can get some quick pit stops in, and will they come out ahead of their rivals. Here is Oscar Piastri. He was previously ahead of Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc swoops right past him going into turn number one, and Charles Leclerc has pulled off the undercut on Oscar Piastri. The gap between them when Leclerc came into the pits was 0.6 of a second, maybe 0.8 of a second. Now the gap is 1.1 seconds. So Leclerc up into a net second place. Oh, but those tires now, those tires are going to have to last. They're all the way to the end of the Grand Prix. This is the thing now, the gap between those tires. So Leclerc has got 8-lap old tires. Piastri has got 0-lap old tires. He's just come out of the pits. So that little difference, those 8 laps, it's going to have quite a big difference as they reach the end of the race. And Piastri will have significantly quicker tires. And by the looks of it, a quicker car. Oh, we've got a yellow flag deployed. And Sargent and Magnussen have had a crash by the looks of it, and they have stopped on the side of the circuit. We've got a yellow flag deployed. DRS has been disabled, and it looks like we're going to have a safety car soon enough. Let's just get a. Let me just get the feed up now and see what exactly has gone on. But Kevin Magnussen seems to have continued driving on, but Logan Sargent is in the wall. Safety car has been deployed, and Lando Norris could come out in the lead of this race. Oh no, he's just missed it. He's missed coming into the pits, has Lando Norris. Ooh. Otherwise, Lando Norris could have ended up in the lead of this race, which would have been sensational. Let's see now. Logan Sargent in the barriers, quite a big crash there. His rear wing is damaged. And yeah, it's his home Grand Prix as well. Not ideal to be crashing at your home Grand Prix there. But safety car is out. Lando Norris in the lead of this race, and the pit lane is closed. I don't think the pit lane is closed. We've got drivers coming into the pits. Perez in the pits, Tsunoda in the pits. Yeah, this is really helping out Yuki Tsunoda here. Tsunoda hasn't done a single pit stop. He's on lap number 28, and he's going to get a free 10 seconds and a free pit stop under the safety car. Lewis Hamilton, no, sorry, not Lewis Hamilton, George Russell. Wait, am I reading this right? No, I'm definitely reading this wrong. Zhou into the pits, Ricardo into the pits, and we have a couple more drivers coming into the pits. All right. Yeah, I don't know what Lando Norris is doing. He's so far ahead of everyone else, but I think what he can do, he can continue on and potentially get a safety car done. A safety car, he can continue on and get a pit stop done, maybe. I'm not sure. If he follows his delta, he might be able to stay ahead and get this pit stop done. So we could see, this crashed. Quite a nasty accident there. Sargent trying to go around the outside of Kevin Magnussen. It does not go well. Magnussen sort of, well, just a quick review what happened. Sargent just turns in when he wasn't expecting Magnussen to be there, and yeah, crashes out. So that's what's happened. Norris comes into the pits. Is he going to keep the lead? This is the thing. All right then. Safety car, the drivers are approaching turn number 17. Safety car goes pretty slowly here, and the pit crew are ready. Lando Norris comes into the pits, and will he come out ahead of the safety car? By the looks of it, he will comfortably come out ahead of the safety car, and Lando Norris is going to be leading this race. This is going to be a great safety car restart to watch. Absolutely fantastic. All right, we're getting extremely close to 2,000 likes and extremely close to 68,000 subscribers as well. So if you are enjoying the coverage, folks, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And once again, while we're under safety car conditions, if you guys are interested in watching F1 with all of the coverage, all of the telemetry, the team radio, the cameras on for on the drivers' helmets and all of that stuff, then be sure to check out F1 TV Pro. Link in the description, link is in the chat as well. And if you guys buy it through my link, it will help out the channel as well. So, yeah. Okie dokes. Lando Norris is in the lead of this race. And I'm not sure exactly how this has worked. Like, what is he going to do? Is he going to join from the back of the pack? Is he going to lap everyone? Because, yeah, he's significantly ahead of the safety car here. Yeah, Norris is going to. Oh, okay. So what they've done, they've let everyone pass now, and everyone's going to catch up to the back of Lando Norris. So that's the situation. Yeah. Otherwise, Lando Norris would have been a lap ahead of everyone on the safety car restart, which would have been crazy. And yeah, obviously pretty unfair as well. So the race has changed. We have Lando Norris in the lead, Oscar Piastri in fourth position. These are all net positions. Everyone basically is going to be going to the end on this current stint. Maybe not Fernando Alonso, Sergio Perez, and Lewis Hamilton, because it might be a bit of a stretch. But 28 laps, it's possible. And yeah, quite a few laps of these is this going to be spent behind the safety car as we have. The incident from Logan Sargent clearing up, well, still to be cleared up. All right. Let's see then. All right. If Lando Norris can hold, I think Lando Norris, if he can hold the lead in on the first lap, there is some seriously good chances that he could end up on the podium. That would be fantastic. A win maybe off the cards with Max Verstappen still in the race, but you never know. Lando Norris, just tap Max Verstappen a little bit, give him a little spin around, and then Verstappen gets to the back of the pack. And Lando Norris goes and wins the race. That would be a brilliant thing to, that'd be very nice to see. So, yeah, let's wait and see. Let's wait and see what happens here with Lando Norris. Yeah. All right, I'm going to have a quick sip of water. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and I hope you are enjoying the coverage. In fact, we've hit 2,000 likes. I guess I can increase the like count, the like goal even more. Yeah. All right. All right. So, guys, another update. Kevin Magnussen has been given a 10-second time penalty. So, if we could get an F in the chat there for Kevin Magnussen. Another 10-second time penalty. Yesterday, he got two 10-second time penalties. Kevin Magnussen has got another 10-second time penalty. Yeah, so an F in the chat there for K-Mag. That'd be great. All right, we are now coming up to the restart shortly. We haven't got the safety car isn't coming in just yet, but coming up to the restart soon enough. And the standings as of now, we have got Lando Norris up 4 places from the race start. He was initially in 5th place, up into 1st. Verstappen dropped down 1 position, Leclerc down 1 position, Piastri up 2 positions, Sainz down 2 positions, and Perez down 2 positions. So the top 6, 2 McLarens, 2 Red Bulls, and 2 Ferraris. That is Yuki Tsunoda doing a great job up in 7th position. Danny Rick, unfortunately, in 15th for him. Not the best start. Not the best weekend for him. After getting 4th place in the sprint quali. All right. Here we go then. Safety car is in this lap, folks. Safety car is in this lap. Here we go. We are coming up to the restart. 26 laps remain. Lando Norris in the lead of this race with the fastest lap of the race to go with it. He has got 26 laps to try and stay on this podium. Max Verstappen will come steaming past. I'm going to have a guess. Maybe, Lando Norris, nice little tap on Max Verstappen, and we'll see what happens. Maybe Verstappen with some damage. That'll be an exciting battle to watch. Max Verstappen with some damage against Lando Norris for the lead of this race. What are those tyres on Joe Sauber? Did they really put him on softs? Yes, they did. I don't know what Kick Sauber are doing, but thank you for the donation, Orphan1998. Very much do appreciate it. Lando Norris, great restart from him, and gets the jump on everyone. 1/10 of the second is the gap as they go into turn number 1, and is very, very close there. He has to go defensive against Max Verstappen, but they make their way through towards turn number 4 now, and it is a line astern. DRS will be enabled on the following lap. Kevin Magnussen right at the back after serving a 10-second penalty, and they make their way through turn number 7, 8, and 9. It is extremely high speed, but the cars managing to stay within touching distance of each other. Lando Norris, look at this, nearly pulled a 1-second gap here to Max Verstappen. This could be sensational. If Leclerc can put some pressure on Verstappen, we could have a amazing battle on our hands. Here we go then. As they head towards turn number 11, the Red Bull is so quick in a straight line, but Charles Leclerc is no slouch either, and he darts to the inside, trying to get Max Verstappen to look in his mirrors, and it is getting close here, and it is getting very exciting indeed. Verstappen's out of DRS of Lando Norris, and Lando, oh my god, what is going on here? Verstappen out of DRS of Lando Norris, and Lando Norris pulling away with this. We've got 25 laps of not bottling it. Let's go. Lando Norris could win his first Grand Prix. This could be, very, very exciting indeed. Here comes Charles Leclerc. He's on the back of Max Verstappen. Verstappen was complaining about his hard tyres. He says he's not got enough grip in the sprint race. He was saying he's got no grip in qualifying. He was saying he's got no grip. And here he is behind Lando Norris, losing time to him. Oh my god. Oh my god. And he's just dropped the Lando Norris fastest lap of the race once again. A fastest middle sector from him as well. DRS has been enabled. Charles Leclerc is going to be right on the back of Max Verstappen. If Leclerc can hold this 1-second gap, it is currently 0.8 of a second. If he can stay within 1 second, he could give Max Verstappen such a hard time. This could be fantastic. We've got 24 laps, guys, 24 laps, and Lando Norris could potentially be on for a race win here. It is absolutely, I was not expecting this, to say the least. All right. In fact, I was telling my friend that, it's going to be another boring race. Max Verstappen's just going to win it. But clearly not. Clearly not. We have got Max Verstappen in second place. Charles, look, oh my god, Piastri gets past Sainz. What a move. Hamilton past Tsunoda, and Leclerc now, as they come out of turn number 16, there is a chance. He's so close to losing DRS here. I really want him to stay on the back here. Come on, Leclerc. You can keep it within DRS range. And Lando Norris, a purple first sector from him again, a yellow middle sector. How long can Lando Norris keep this going? All right. Yes, a very exciting race today. The safety car. I mean, Logan Sargent, thank you so much, guys. Can we have a thank you in the chat for Logan Sargent? Like I don't know, heart emoji, Logan Sargent. But he's done a brilliant job. He's brought out the safety car, and we're having this exciting race. Haven't had one of these in a while. Okie dokes. Charles Leclerc chasing down now Max Verstappen, and Verstappen is really struggling because don't know what it is, but he just has a lack of grip. And once you're in the dirty air, that lack of grip gets exacerbated and bigger and bigger. So yeah, Verstappen currently in second place, and Lando, who knows? Lando Norris, he could be using up his tires really quickly. He could be using up all of his battery. Who knows? Sainz over the radio complaining that Piastri overtook him off the circuit. Now, I'm sure the FIA will have something to say about that. We'll wait and see. Tsunoda, Hamilton overtook Tsunoda quite nicely there. A very nice overtake, very clinical throughout the outside of turn number 12. Yeah. All right. Oh, great start to the race, guy. Oh, a great safety car restart. Yeah. Okie dokes. Update. They've just noted the incident between Piastri and Sainz. I think they've just noted it. They haven't. Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do about it. Sainz is really over the radio complaining, saying that this shouldn't be allowed and he should get the position back. We'll just have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. And look at this. The gap is increasing. It is 1.7 seconds. It was 1.5 seconds before. It's now 1.7. And I have to point this out. Oscar Piastri is catching up to the back of Leclerc. So if Leclerc, say, drops out of DRS of Max Verstappen, we could actually get Piastri catching up to the back of Verstappen and maybe a McLaren 1-2. That is, that is crazy. Space, I've requested to message you on Instagram. Yes, sure, I will. I'll have a look at that after the stream is over. All right, yeah. Carlos Sainz is saying that Piastri overtook him off the circuit, but Carlos Sainz isn't having any of it. He just he tries to re-overtake Piastri, but breaks a little bit too deep there. Not ideal for Carlos Sainz. Trying to get past Oscar Piastri, still stuck behind him. All right, the gap, 1.9 seconds. It is slowly but surely increasing. Another fastest first sector for Lando Norris. Great job from him. Leclerc has just dipped out of DRS range. 1.1 seconds was the gap between himself. Is the gap between himself and Max Verstappen. Another fastest lap of the race there for Lando Norris. Oh my God. Okay, so potentially what could happen here, Piastri could catch up to the back of Charles Leclerc. Looking at the previous lap, Piastri was slightly slower, but I'm sure the pace will sort of even out, and we'll see what happens. Piastri is being told over the radio something. They've said no further action. The stewards have said no further action for Oscar Piastri overtaking Carlos Sainz off the circuit or pushing Carlos Sainz off the circuit. And yeah, so Piastri retains that fourth place, and Sergio Perez and Hamilton now applying a significant amount of pressure. And look at that gap. The gap is now 2 seconds, folks. Lando Norris could genuinely go on and win this race. There are 21 laps remaining, so we're not going to jinx it. We're not going to say Lando's going to win. He could win, okay? But Lando is cooking, and look at that. A fastest lap of the race, another fastest first sector. I mean, this man is what is he doing? How is he doing this? McLaren, these are McLaren's upgrades, by the way. This is the first time McLaren have run these upgrades in the Miami Grand Prix. The Miami Grand Prix is the first time they've run these upgrades. So if Lando can do this pace this week with the upgrades, then who knows what happens next week. It's not like a one-off thing. This is the upgrades that have caused this pace to happen. And McLaren could be up there fighting it. We could see a McLaren fighting the Ferraris for front row positions. But yeah, another fastest lap of the race, and he goes 0.3 quicker than Max Verstappen, and Verstappen is struggling. Oh my God. Okie dokes. The McLaren sandbagging was real. Indeed it was. Wow. Okay. Incredible to say the least. I was definitely not expecting this. I was definitely expecting another Max Verstappen victory with 20 seconds in the lead of this race, but I will so gladly take Lando Norris in the lead. All right. Here we go then. 20 laps remain. The gap is 2.5 seconds. Verstappen is even further behind. Max's tires are, Max's tires are 6 laps older than Piastri's. So maybe he's conserving his tires, but, if I was Max, I would, try and overtake Piastri, Lando Norris as soon as possible. That's probably the best way to go about doing it. Yeah. Right, Lando Norris on his previous lap, he is 0.4 of a second quicker than Max Verstappen. Wow. Okay, so this pace isn't like just one-off pace. Lando Norris has been holding this for the previous 7 laps now. So the question remains, how many more laps can he hold this for? Will his tires go off? And could he win this race? Now, we'll just have to wait and see. All right. Look at Alonso. He's clutching right now. Can he score some points? Alonso in 11th place. Yeah, he's up 4 positions, and he's right on the back of Ocon. So if he could get that overtake done, he'll put him into the points. And with everyone bunched up in the safety car, who knows? He's on the medium tyres, of course. They might start going off soon, though, and he might not be able to get to the end of the race. We'll have to wait and see. Verstappen was over the radio, and he was saying there are issues with the rear grip. Well, that explains the lack of pace and the lack of dominance from Max Verstappen. Yeah. Piastri to overtake Leclerc and Verstappen from McLaren 1-2. Is it off the cards? No, but in fact, Piastri was a 10th quicker than Leclerc on the previous lap, and but unfortunately, the gap has been going up a little bit. So, yeah, Max on the radio saying he's having trouble turning in. Interesting. Well, maybe the issues just keep going. Sainz has overtaken Oscar Piastri. Unfortunately, Piastri has been under threat from Carlos Sainz for quite a while now, and he's been unable to hang on. Very, very close, I must say, a tightly fought battle. And Piastri, he was going to re-overtake Carlos Sainz, but he braked just a little bit too late. And All right, 18 laps remain of this Grand Prix. We're on lap number 40 of 57, and Lando Norris has a 3-second lead over Max Verstappen. This is absolutely spectacular. All right, here we go then. Here we go. Yeah, if Lando wins this, Verstappen's going to win the next Grand Prix by 7 hours. That would be, yeah. Yeah, I think Verstappen the next Grand Prix will absolutely destroy everyone else. Just to reiterate the point that he is the very, very quick. Yeah. All right. They've noted a little bit of an incident between Piastri and Sainz at turn number 17, but I don't think it's anything severe. It should be fine. And in fact, I'm going to have a quick sip of water. I'll be back. Oh, Piastri. Why is he... Piastri's come into the pits. Okay. Some sort of collision there with Piastri, and it looks like that he's had some sort of issue. Maybe a puncture. It looks like a puncture probably, because there's no other reason for him to come into the pits as of now. Oh, no, it's a new front wing. That's what it is. He's got a damaged front wing, and that is why he has come into the pits. Contact there for Oscar Piastri. So unfortunate. On the weekend where his teammate might end up winning, he has to come into the pits for a new front wing. And so as they go into turn number 17, Carlos Sainz just brakes really, really late and then doesn't turn the car. He just keeps on going straight. Piastri tries to turn into the corner, but Carlos Sainz's car's there. Oh no, actually, that's not what happened. Carlos Sainz loses the rear of the car. So as he's braking, the rear tires kind of lock for Carlos Sainz, which end up turning him into Piastri's car. And Piastri's front wing kind of got damaged. and he had to come into the pits. So, yeah, very, very unfortunate there. Well, Lando Norris up in first position, Oscar Piastri down in last, even though that's not really representative of their pace whatsoever. Scientists come over the radio saying something's wrong with the car, check the downforce. And yeah, so it looks like the contact that he had with Piastri has affected his car as well. So he looks like he might be under threat from Sergio Perez. Yeah, here we go then. Lando Norris, another fastest lap of the race for Lando Norris. Wow. The pace is indeed very real, 3.5 seconds ahead of Max Verstappen, and Charles Leclerc is in fact matching Max Verstappen's lap time. So if he can go marginally quicker, he could actually catch up to Verstappen. Hamilton's come over the radio saying, if you've got any power, please give it to me. Hamilton trying to overtake Sergio Perez here going into turn number 11, unable to get it sort of moved on. But yeah, Mercedes really struggling in top end speed. Their power units are just not what they used to be earlier on in the turbo hybrid era. And it seems like the Honda engine, and comboed with the lack of drag, well, not a lack of drag, just a less drag on the Red Bull, is a tough challenge to overtake on the straights. So yeah, Hamilton requesting more power from his team to try and get past Sergio Perez, but it's 16 laps still remain. He can't deploy all of his battery as of yet. And yeah. Okie dokes. Let me know what your predictions are. In fact, I think I'm just going to do a little vote. Who is going to win this race? Is it going to be Lando Norris or is it going to be Max Verstappen? Who will win? Lando or Max? There we go. You guys should be able to vote on that. Yeah, and, it looks promising for Lando Norris. And yeah, to be fair, the gap has been getting bigger and bigger ever since the safety car. Oscar Piastri has set a fastest lap of the race, going half a second quicker than his teammate. But of course, Oscar Piastri is on a fresh set of tyres and has got clean air as well. All right. Ooh. Let's have a look. What are we saying? 81% of you think Lando Norris is going to win. 19% of you think Max Verstappen is going to win. And I'm going to go with Lando Norris is winning this one. Just because the thing is, Verstappen hasn't been getting any quicker. In fact, he's been getting slower compared to Lando Norris. So I'm going to say, what is going on with my mic today? Yeah, I'm going to say that Lando Norris is going to go and win this one. Yeah. All right. Here we go then. Lewis Hamilton, he's looking to catch up to the back of Perez, but still unable to get an overtake done. He's still done a good job though. 6th position in a Mercedes is pretty good. The car hasn't been the quickest this weekend. And yeah. It is a 4-second gap with 14 laps left to go. I mean, the laps are ticking down, and we could have Lando Norris win this race. Also, guys, we're getting pretty close to 25,000 likes. Not 25,000 likes, 2,500 likes, sorry. And we're getting pretty close to 68,000 subscribers as well. So if you aren't subscribed, be sure to do so. It really would help out the channel. And if you haven't hit the like button, you are enjoying the coverage, then be sure to do that as well. One final little thing. If you are interested in F1 TV Pro, it's got all of the telemetry, all of the team radios, the data, the onboards, and archived races from the 1960s all the way till, obviously the current races. So if you are interested in that, then be sure to subscribe to F1 TV Pro. And if you do it through my link, it really does help out the channel as well. Yeah. Okay. Oh my God. The stewards are now investigating Kevin Magnussen for failing to serve the penalty correctly. Now, who knows what's going on there? But Kevin Magnussen, they might just give him another penalty for not taking the 10-second penalty correctly. Like maybe they only did 9.9 seconds instead of 10 seconds. Yeah. Or maybe like one of the mechanics touched the car when Magnussen came in to stop for the pit stop. Like I don't know what it is. But K-Mag is under investigation. All right. Yeah. Hello, Kies. Nice to see you here. And hashtag blessed. Um, hashtag blessed would be the exact correct words to use. Oh. Yeah. Lando Norris is in. What is going on here? Right. Okay. So that's fixed my mic. But yeah. So what was I going to say? Yeah. Hashtag blessed day for Lando Norris fans. And unfortunately, Oscar Piastri is in 19th position because he he collided with Carlos Sainz just after the safety car, which meant that he had to come in for the pits for a new front wing, and that's why he's down in 19th position. And Lando Norris, he was the only driver yet to pit under the safety car. He was the only driver yet to pit, and then the safety car came out, and Lando Norris got the lead of the race. Max Verstappen, his pace was just nowhere to be seen, absolutely nowhere. And that is how Lando Norris is in the lead. Yeah, Lando Norris is in the lead of this race, so that's what's happened. All right. Yeah, I will definitely get a new mic. In fact, I thought I'd fixed it, and to be fair, it had worked for like so long. But now, as we get to 12 laps remaining on this race, the mic is gone again. All right, voice volume going up and down. I think the mic's at its end. Hope this helps. Yeah. Thank you for the. It definitely will help, buddy. Yeah, I'll definitely get a new mic sorted out. I've been so busy with exams and stuff that I haven't even thought. Well, I haven't searched properly which is a good mic to buy and stuff like that. But yeah, I'll get that searched and stuff. So in 2 weeks' time, should have a good mic. Yeah. All right. So Lando Norris, 5.2 seconds in the lead of this race. This is absolutely brilliant to see. Fernando Alonso currently in 10th place, chasing down Esteban Ocon. Maybe he could go and score a couple more points there. Aston Martin not had the best of weekends. Yeah. All right. Here we go. The bottom seven is like a Congo line. Indeed, it is. It is very line of rest, line of stern, sorry. And let's wait and see what happens. All right, here comes Fernando Alonso. He's trying to overtake Esteban Ocon. Ocon breaking a little bit late, making his defense a little bit odd, to be honest. Well, not odd, just extremely late. So I'm sure Alonso will be over the radio complaining about that. But yes, still 81% of you think Lando Norris is going to win. 20%, well, 80% think Lando, 20% think Max. Let's wait and see. We have got 10 laps remaining, and Verstappen is 5 seconds behind Max Verstappen. 5 seconds. So that is the gap that he's got to deal with. right. Here we go then. All right. What else is going on the circuit? Not too much. I mean, Ocon is under a lot of pressure from Fernando Alonso as they come through now. Where are they coming through? They're coming towards turn number 11, and Fernando Alonso gets that overtake done very nicely. He's got the slipstream. He darts to the inside. Ocon going very much to the inside, but Alonso still getting on the brakes extremely late, and gets that overtake done for that ninth position spot now. And now what he's got to do is defend for the next 9 laps, because I don't think he's going to catch up to George Russell. Okay. Lando could go on and win his first race. That would be absolutely spectacular. Also, we've hit 2,500 likes. That is great to see. And also, we're 15 subscribers away from 68,000 yeah, so if you guys aren't subscribed, then be sure to do so. In fact, 11 subscribers away now. Yeah. Right, let's go ahead and increase the like goal to, what should we say, 27,000 maybe? Yeah, sure, 27,000. Okie dokes. Here we go then. We have got Oscar Piastri. He's caught up to the back of Magnussen, now Bottas. He's got past both of them. He's now looking to overtake Danny Rick as well. And I must like to point out, Daniel Ricciardo in 16th position, Yuki Tsunoda, his teammate, in 7th position. Wow. Yeah, a very big difference there between those two drivers. And we'll just wait and see what Daniel Ricciardo has to say about that. All right. Lando Norris getting told over the radio, a couple of pieces of information by his race engineer, where to brake, not where to brake, but brake a little bit later here, use this engine mode here. He's just getting coached through this, trying to stay focused under pressure, and yeah, potentially go on and win this race. 8 laps remain, and the gap is 5.8 seconds. Max Verstappen unable to catch up in that Red Bull, and it's slowly inching up as well. Yeah, slowly but surely it is inching up. Max is very, very slowly losing sight of Leclerc, but yeah, Leclerc, in fact, 2/10 quicker on the previous lap, and Sainz with a fastest first sector. It looks like both Ferraris are trying to catch up to a stricken Max Verstappen with a severe lack of grip, apparently. Yeah. All right. So, yeah, cannot believe you're witnessing a Lando win. Yeah, Lando has been, he's scored so many podiums, but hasn't had a win as of yet so far in his career. And we are on lap number 51 of 57 of the Miami Grand Prix. Lando Norris is 6 seconds in the lead of this race, ahead of Max Verstappen, the 3-time world champion, and the current reigning world champion as well. So, yeah, a seriously good drive from Lando Norris. He's doing such a good job under the pressure. He's been driving in Formula One, since 2019, but under so much pressure, he has never been, and doing a fantastic job, to say the least. 7 laps remain, and let's see what he could do. Here we go then. We've got Oscar Piastri trying to overtake Daniel Ricciardo. We've got the two Aussies battling away. Piastri gets the lead. Oh, Daniel Ricciardo darts right back to the inside and says, "No, thank you. I'll take that back from you." Piastri brakes a little bit too late, locks up the front, and that's why he lost that position. And they're going to go battle once again on the following, in the following sequence of corners. Here they are coming out of turn number 8 now. Piastri firmly in the slipstream of Danny Rick. He'll have the slipstream and the DRS, and let's see what he can do. Okie dokes. Here they go then. We have Oscar Piastri. He is gaining and gaining on Danny Rick and goes to the inside. All right. Oh my God. Okay. So they basically come over the radio to Oscar Piastri, right? Get this. Lando is leading the race, right? They come over to the radio to Oscar Piastri, say, Lando is leading the race. Do not cause a safety car. Do not crash into anyone. Do not cause a crash. We do not want a safety car because if we cause a safety, if we get a safety car, then Lando Norris might not win this race. So that's basically what they've told to Oscar Piastri. Do not crash under any circumstances because otherwise your teammate's not going to win. All right. Oh, and that gap is bigger than 6 seconds now. So Lando Norris doing a good job there. 6 laps remain, unless unless Lando Norris gets a puncture or something here, it could. Well, who knows what could happen. But it's looking good there for Lando Norris, looking extremely good. All right. Bono, my mic is gone. Indeed, my mic is gone. Yeah, we'll need to get a new one. Okie dokes, folks. We're getting pretty close. Well, yeah, we're getting pretty close to 69,000 subscribers. That'd be great if you guys could hit the like button and subscribe as well. Really do appreciate all the support. We've got 11,000 people tuned in. That is basically like an entire football stadium full, which is ridiculous to think of. But I hope you are all enjoying the coverage and enjoying the Lando win as well. Lando potential win. Okay, I'm not going to try and jinx it here. All right. Here we go. Let's see what is happening. Well, we've got a nice little train form there by Lance Stroll. He's left the track and gained an advantage against when he was trying to overtake Alex Albon, I think, and he might get a penalty for that. Also, I would like to point out, guys, Guan Yu Zhou, 24 laps he has done on one set of soft tyres. I mean, you have to give this man props. Like, we've all been focusing on Lando Norris, but how Guan Yu Zhou has done 24 laps on a set of soft tyres is ridiculous. Alex Albon, 42 laps on one set of hard tyres. That is also absolutely ridiculous. Some really good performances here. And just because, obviously Lando Norris is outshadowing all of them by being in the lead of this race, but, you've got to give credit where credit is due. Yeah, oh my God, Alex Albon brakes so late, and we could have a virtual safety car here, maybe a yellow flag. No, I think it's all right. I think Alex Albon is just going to, yeah, there we go. He's got his car out of the runoff area, but he brakes so late and does not even unlock the brakes. Wow, a massive lockup there for Alex Albon. Just goes straight on, but he manages to recover it just fine. All right, no safety car. We have 4 laps remaining, and Lando Norris has got a 6.4 second lead in this race. Yeah. All right, we are... Yeah, wow. This is great. All right. Also, I'd just like to let you guys know, if you guys are interested in F1, oh my God, if you guys are interested in F1 TV Pro, link is in the description. It's got all of the telemetry, all the onboards and all of that related stuff. all the live coverage as well. So yeah, if you guys are you're a fan of F1, you're watching the coverage. But if you guys want the official coverage, then the link is in the description or in the chat actually. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So Lando Norris is leading this race. Oh my god, my mic is just getting worse and worse. All right. How does Joe have any grip at all? Honestly, I have no idea. Um, yeah, on soft tires, I mean, soft tires were meant to do a maximum of maybe 17 laps, but he's done 25, 26 laps on them, and we've still got 3 laps remaining. Like, he's going to do more than half the race on a set of soft tires. Absolutely ridiculous from Guan Yu Zhou. Yeah. Also, I would like to point out, guys, McLaren have had an upgrade, a very significant upgrade package this weekend, like so many upgrades on all of the car. And this is the pace that they've got. Of course, maybe they're not going to win every single race like this because Verstappen won't be struggling for grip every single race. But yeah, this McLaren pace, it isn't just like a one-off thing. It is seriously real, and their upgrades have really worked, pushed them in the right direction, and it is fantastic to see. Really, absolutely fantastic. I've only watched F1 race 2 times, and this is my second one. Both times Max has lost. Well, buddy, you got to watch more F1 races because it makes it a whole lot more exciting. Okie dokes, lap number 56 of 57. Lando Norris making his way through the middle sector now. Just, one corner after another, one sector after another, and he will reach the end of this race very, very shortly now. He's got another 7 kilometers left to go, and he will reach the end of the Grand Prix. And Lando Norris has got a 7 second lead with 7 kilometers left of this race. It is looking really, really good for Lando Norris. He hasn't got a win. He has got so many podiums for McLaren, and he could actually go on and win this race with 2 laps remaining now. It is getting more and more sure. Just no mistake, no snap of rear end coming through turn number 16, tap the barriers and lose the car. That would be absolutely tragic. Yeah, and also, I mean, to be a fly on the wall at the Red Bull garage, probably not too big of a deal. I don't think Red Bull particularly care about winning or not. They already know for a fact they're going to win the championship. Like, it doesn't matter. Um, yeah. All right. We are on the final lap of the race, the final circuit of the Miami Grand Prix. It is 5.4 kilometers. We have got 19 corners on the circuit. Lando Norris is making his way through the first sector for the final time, 7 seconds ahead of his competition. He has had a absolutely brilliant race from start to finish. He has managed and dealt with this pressure so well. He has been in so many similar scenarios like this in the lead of this race with a potential race win oncoming, but the pressure has got to him. In Russia 2021, he didn't switch onto the tires at the correct time and ended up out of the points. But Lando Norris today has come up and risen to the challenge. He has had an absolutely fantastic race so far, and after the safety car, he has been doing some amazing driving. Here he comes down the back straight for the final time. And all of the McLaren fans are up on their feet cheering like there is no tomorrow. And here he comes now through turn number 17, the hairpin. Out of turn number 18, he gets a great exit, very smooth onto the power. The McLaren pit wall are all over there cheering him on. The checkered flag is out, and Lando Norris wins his first ever Grand Prix at Miami in 2024. What a win. What a day to do it on. Max Verstappen comes home in second place, and Charles Leclerc is in third. And the crowd goes absolutely bananas for Lando Norris. What a drive. Absolutely Brilliant from him. Absolutely amazing. Wow. Zach Brown is over the moon. He is screaming and he is extremely pleased. It has been a long, long time since McLaren have got a win, all the way back in 2021 in Monza. It has been a long time coming for Lando Norris, and he has finally done it and scored that win. Wow. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Lando Norris has done it again. Well, not done it again. He's done it for the first time. And then we have Charles Leclerc on the podium for third place, Carlos Sainz in fourth, and Sergio Perez in fifth. Hamilton in sixth, Tsunoda in seventh. Great job for him, get ahead of his teammate. Russell in eighth, Alonso in ninth, and Ocon in 10th. All right. All right. So that has been today's Grand Prix. Wow. Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you. I could genuinely quote myself telling my friend that, oh, it's just going to be another boring race. Max is going to win this. Like, what's even the point? And and then guess what? Guess what happens? Lando Norris goes and wins this race. Absolutely brilliant to see. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the stream. I very much do appreciate all of the support, all of the lovely messages in the chat. I will definitely get a mic sorted out for the next race. It is in 2 weeks' time, so I have more than enough time to get a mic sorted. Yeah, that is, we have had 6 races in 2024, and Max Verstappen has only won 4 of them, and 2 of them, one has been won by Carlos Sainz, one has been won by Lando Norris. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Yeah, folks, that has been today's coverage. Nothing else much from me to add. Hope you have enjoyed, and thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful morning, day, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time for the next Grand Prix in Imola. Yeah, we will have the usual, 3 practice sessions as qualifying and a race. And yeah, McLaren have brought some upgrades, and we'll wait and see in Imola if those upgrades are as quick as they were today. But yeah, once again, thank you everyone for tuning in. And yeah, I will see you in 2 weeks' time. I think I've already said have a nice day, depending on where you are in the world, or yeah, evening or night. That's it. That is it. All right. What a day. What a day. Okay. Yeah, see you in 2 weeks. Cheers, fellas.